Hey guys, I'm going to be doing the paranormal tag today. I read the questions off my phone. Question number 1. How old were you when you had your first paranormal experience? I want to say that I was like 11. Because I mean, paranormal stuff has been happening to me like my entire life, but I haven't really acknowledged it or really thought about it and actually yeah. So like my first noted one that I can remember was when I was like 11 or 12. Number 2, have you always believed in ghosts? Yeah, I've always known that they've been around. I've always watched like scary movies and like creepy stuff like that and been like, oh, it's so scary. So I've always like known of it and believed in it, but it didn't really start off like hardcore until I was probably like 20 or 21, and I'm 24 now. Number 3, where is your favorite place to investigate? I've never really investigated that much. I've only investigated like only one house actually, because I was very curious at the time of when I started investigating, and the spirits just like swarmed me and it was insane. And like I investigated with I don't know if you call her a medium or a psychic. I want to say she's a medium, and she was telling me how they were like swarming me, and I was like, oh, awesome, it's great. So I only really did one house because it didn't work out. Number 4, what is your favorite investigating tool to use? I love using little voice recorders because I love getting EVPs. I'm like, when I was doing all the investigating, I couldn't investigate anymore, but I wanted to stay in the group and in the ghost hunting group. So they were like, well, why don't you try out doing EVP work? And I was like, oh, okay, I'll give it a shot, we'll see how it goes. And I tried it, and I turned into like the EVP whisperer. It was insane. Like I was constantly getting really good stuff, and I was at headquarters for like hours after hours listening to evidence, and it was fun. I liked it. So that was probably my favorite tool. What is your scariest paranormal experience? I love this question because this is my favorite story to tell. That was the one house that I did investigate, and it didn't actually happen like it was like a ghost attacking me or anything, but what it was, like I mentioned, I was doing the EVP work, and so I was listening to like EVP stuff, and well, okay, so this did happen to me, but like unknowingly. So I was in the bedroom. I'm getting shivers just thinking about it. I was in the bedroom of the owner that was living at that house when we were investigating it, and we're asking questions and doing all that investigating stuff. And so later on, I was listening back to all the tapes and stuff, and the tape recorder was like right next to me. This is terrible, but this is how I explain the story all the time. So the tape recorder was right next to me, and like I set it down on a table, and we're doing the questions. Listening back to it, I noticed something like right before I pick up the recorder, and so I was listening, and it's clear as day, and it's a man saying get out, and he's like whispering. Oh my god, that freaked me out so bad, and it was right next to me. It was like, oh my god, it freaked me out because it was like right next to me, and just thinking about it now, I'm getting like shivers because that was crazy. What is your favorite paranormal experience? My favorite one was I was at headquarters, so I was there doing like, same EVP stuff, going over evidence, and my boyfriend was there too, and I think somebody else that offered to help from the group. And so my friend Sylvia was there. She's my friend. She's the medium. And so we were just talking about the investigation, like what happened and what was going on, because I didn't do it. I sat in the car because they were dealing with some crazy stuff at that house, so I didn't want to be a part of it because I couldn't protect myself. So I was listening to it and I was asking them questions like, you know, what did you see or feel at this point and stuff like that. So, and so they were telling me like, oh yeah, this is the daughter's name that the mom was trying to connect with. And I was like, oh, okay, that sounds good. And like a couple hours later, I was like, oh wait, what was her name again? And Travis, my boyfriend, pronounced it wrong. And there were these cups on top of like one of those water dispenser things, like sparklets, and they flew across the room. And I'm just like, I think you pronounced her name wrong again. Like, he was doing it all night during the investigation, I guess. That's what they told me, and it was the funniest thing ever, because they just went, and they just flew, and I was like, ah. It was so funny. 7. Do you know anyone else personally who has paranormal experiences? Why can't I say that word right now? Paranormal. I do. I know a lot of people. My mother-in-law has, my stepmom has, my sister has, my stepsister, my best friend, my fiance does. We were in the group together, so, you know, of course he was involved in it. He's very big on tarot cards, so he was very open with it for a while, but now he's not. He doesn't really do it that much. And my very good friend Sylvia, who I mentioned earlier, she is the medium or psychic or somewhere around there. She probably knows I'm talking about her, so she's going to text me and be like, I'm this. No, she doesn't do that anymore. But yeah, so Sylvia is like the main person that really got me involved in it, and she's amazing. 8. Do you have trouble convincing friends and family about your paranormal experiences? Kinda. Only the very skeptic people, because they'll say, oh yeah, I believe in ghosts and blah blah blah, and then I'll tell them that Get Out story, and they're like, no, I'm not gonna be able to sleep, thanks a lot. And it's like, you just said you believe in them and you're fine, but yet I tell you the story, now you're freaked out. And don't get me wrong, I used to be freaked out too. Like, I was very, very freaked out when Paranormal Activity, the movie, came out, because I went in thinking it was about ghosts, because that's what you think of when you hear Paranormal Activity. But no, it was about a demon, so that totally freaked me out. And I have, still to this day, I sleep with like my covers wrapped around my feet. It's so embarrassing to admit that to you guys, but it's true. 9. Favorite paranormal TV show or movie? I'll do both. My favorite paranormal TV show, of course, is Ghost Hunters. Not Ghost Hunters International. I hate that show, but just Ghost Hunters. And Steve is hot. Favorite paranormal movie? I want to say, of course, the Paranormal Activities, because they are good. They're just a little over the top. Like, the second one, you were watching the first one, but then the third one was like totally original, and the best part of the whole movie, I don't know if I can say it because I don't know if any of you seen it, but if any of you seen it and you see the part where the girl runs into Toby, if you know what I'm talking about, oh my god. 10. What would be your dream place to investigate? Alcatraz and the Winchester Mystery House. 12. Is your home haunted? No. I would say it's not haunted, but there are people here. I've even had Sylvia, like the first time she came over, she told me that Travis's grandmother on his dad's side is here. She watches the house, and I've heard that because Travis's grandmother on his mother's side died in this house. So I want to say that she's here. I've felt her like right when she died. She died 4 years ago. So I want to say she's here because I moved in a year after that. So I was under the covers. I guess this would have been my best paranormal experience, but I was under the covers reading a book because the light was bugging Travis. I felt like a push, like someone pushed the blanket, almost like, not like scaring me, not like boo, but like they, like, yeah, just like that, like it wasn't even that harsh, like it was just like, and so I felt just the presence of Travis's grandma, because I knew her pretty good. We would go in the backyard and smoke cigarettes, and I felt like she was asking me for that one last cigarette, and so I did. I went out to the backyard and I had a cigarette and I pulled out the chair so she could sit with me. 13, have you ever had any paranormal experiences with animals? I like this question because I think animals are very in tune with the paranormal, and they see things that we can't see. Well, at least some of us can't see. And I have had a lot of experiences. I've had, like, my dogs, well, they're not my dogs, but I've had the dogs in the house. They kind of just stare at a corner and they're just like like, of course that freaks you out, but I always ask them, like, who do you see? Who is it? Who is it? And they just look at me going, what are you saying? Yeah, I've had a couple, you know, where they stare at a corner. My cat used to do that a lot. Yeah. Well, that's everything. That's all the questions. I'll put I'll put the questions down below. It wasn't as long as I thought it was going to be, but and I thought it was going to be like an hour long because I had so much to explain, but it wasn't. So if you guys want to go ahead and do this tag as well, definitely, or if you already if you've already done the tag, then just put it down below as a video response and I'll watch it, because I love watching these videos, just seeing everybody's different experiences and stuff like that. I'm sorry mine weren't that great. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and definitely leave me any questions down below. And yeah, I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.